tour season is really starting to pick up right now. I know a lot of artists are on tour right now, or they're going on tour in just a few weeks, so I thought now would be the perfect time to make this video. Ever since I posted my last concert vlog, which was the Breakaway festival, I've still have people commenting and asking me like how I met Martin Garrix, how I did this, all these questions relating to the concert. So I thought I would make a video kind of explaining my tips and tricks on how to meet your favorite artists. At almost every concert I've been to, I have met somebody, whether it be the artist or a member of their crew or whatever. I want to start off just by saying that obviously this is not a guarantee. I think a lot of luck goes into this. This works for concerts, festivals, clubs, literally anything. So these tips that I'm going to give you do not require you to like buy anything extra, so you don't have to have a meet and greet pass. You don't have to buy VIP. I've never bought meet and greets or VIP, and I have had the opportunity to meet artists and crew members, so you can do this technically for free, but you just obviously need to buy a ticket to whatever show you're going to. So I'm going to put these tips in sort of like a timeline, so from before the show to after the show. So my first tip is to check with your local radio stations when your favorite artist is going on tour, because they might have an interview with that artist, or they might offer a meet and greet, or they might do like a raffle or a ticket giveaway. So check with your local radio stations. I don't know if they still do this that much anymore, but I know that they still have ticket giveaways. If you know that your favorite artist is going to your local radio station, then you can wait outside the radio station. You can call them and see if you can get in. You can try to see if they have meet and greets, or you can try to catch the artist on the way out. This next one, I know a lot of people do. I don't know if it still has a good success rate because of COVID and everything, but you could still try to meet your favorite artist at the airport. I don't know how people do it, but fans somehow get a hold of information like flights and schedules, and somehow they know what plane their favorite artist is on. So if you're able to figure out what flight your favorite artist is on, you could definitely try to go wait at the airport for them. You can wait at the gate, you can ask staff. I know years ago this was a big thing where I know at least for like Five Sauce fans would meet them at the airport a lot. The airport's pretty like hit or miss, because you don't know if they're like flying private, or you might not be allowed in a certain area because of where they're flying, but who knows, you might get lucky. If you're able to get to the venue early or get to the city early, try and go to local coffee shops, cafes, restaurants, because maybe the artist is there getting food. It's pretty common for artists to like go on a coffee run quickly before the show, or maybe a member of their team goes and gets coffee for them. So if you have the time and you're kind of just walking around the city, it wouldn't hurt to go check like Starbucks or something. I think that you would have better luck just waiting outside of the venue. So definitely follow the tour buses, see where they're going, see if somebody gets out. That's always a good chance to meet an artist. Always go by the tour buses, hang around by the tour buses, don't get kicked out of the venue, don't trespass, but if you're able to, stand as close to the tour buses as possible behind gates or something. And this could also be before or after the show, but typically before the show, artists are hanging around the tour buses just doing whatever, so maybe you could call them over and get a picture with them. But it is super important to get there early. That is how I've met a couple people. So wherever the concert is, get to that city very early and get to the venue early as possible. You can walk around the city or walk around the venue early before the show. You never know where they're going to be. Maybe they're just walking around outside, maybe they're by the tour buses. You never know. There's a good chance that they're at the venue early and you might see them. The first concert that I went to was the World War Joy tour in 2019. My mom and I got to that venue as soon as it opened. We waited in line for only an hour, and we were like the very first ones in the venue, and so we got to our seats early and we stuck around and we waited. And then I ended up meeting the Chainsmokers videographer. His name is Craig, so that was really cool that we got to meet him just by getting there early and getting to our seats early. So we got to meet Craig, and also Mushu, which is Alex's dog. Alex is one of the Chainsmokers, so that one I do have experience with. This one kind of goes along with what I just said. So know their managers, know their crew members, know who they work with, because those people are usually walking around the venue super early. Like with Craig, he was just walking around with Alex's dog, so that's a super easy chance to meet them. And maybe you could possibly ask them if they could, I don't know, bring you backstage or something. It never hurts to ask. But if you know their managers and you know what their team members look like, then you can find them. This is something that I personally have experience with, so I knew who the Chainsmokers photographer and videographer are. I know who Martin Garrix's team members are, his photographer. you know, security guards, stuff like that. I was able to meet a few members of Martin Garrix's team when I was at the Breakaway Festival. After the show, I was able to say hi to Martin Garrix's photographer named Louis Van Bar, so that was really cool. Social media is probably your biggest tool. For a lot of artists, when they're on tour, they like to post on their stories, like where they're at or what they're doing. Maybe they're somewhere in the venue, maybe they're behind stage, maybe they're walking around through the city. So definitely check your artists' Instagrams, Twitter, whatever. Check their stories because maybe they'll post where they are and you could try to meet them there. Also, try to ask around, ask venue staff, ask managers, whoever works there, trying to ask to see where the artist is. I've never personally done this, but I know other people like have asked like merch table workers or ask anybody if there's like a signing or a meet and greet or if you could get a pass somehow. You never know what somebody might say. If you can, try to get pit tickets. I know sometimes they're expensive, but if you do buy pit tickets for whatever show you're going to, try to get there early so that you can get barricade, you can get front row. So at the end of the show, if the artist might come out, you're already there, you're already at the front row. Every concert I've been to, I've gotten there early as possible when doors open. I don't know how this happened, but when I went to the Breakaway Festival, we were literally the first ones in line and we were able to get barricade for the whole night, and that helped us meet two friends because we were in the front row, and so the artists take pictures with the people in the front row. So those are pretty much all of my tips for before the show. These next last tips are for after the show. The biggest tip is stay after the show. It should be pretty obvious. If you can and you're not in a rush to go home or go to your car or whatever, stay in the venue for as long as possible until they kick you out. At the Breakaway Festival, long story short, I stayed after the show for about 5-ish minutes, and Martin Garrix ended up coming out and saying hi to fans. That's how I was able to meet him. So out of 10,000 people, only about 20 of them waited after the show, so that gives you a much higher chance of meeting the artist. If you're in the nosebleeds, literally just run to the front, run to the barricade. You might be stopped by security, you may not be able to go into the pit after the show, but definitely try. And if you're already in the pit from during the show, stay in the pit, and as people leave, go to the front. Some artists might even come out after their set and just run down the line and high five people and take pictures. That's how my sister and I met two friends. Or they might wait for the venue to clear out, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then they come out. Some artists don't, which is fine. I guess it just depends on the artist. If your artist is known for having a ton of fan interactions, then you should already know to stay. So if you've come this far and you got lucky and your favorite artist came out after the show and is talking to fans by the barricade, there are a couple things that you can do to have like a longer interaction, because obviously your favorite artist doesn't take pictures with everybody and they don't talk to everybody. So if you want to get an extra chance at having a longer conversation and a picture, there's a couple things you can do. Obviously, don't start screaming, don't go crazy, just act calm so they don't just skip you. Usually these interactions only last like 20 seconds. When I met Martin Garrix, the whole thing was over in like 15 seconds, but I was lucky enough to get a little bit of a conversation with him. Some of the other fans he just took a picture with and that was it, but I was able to talk to him for a little bit longer, and here's how I did it. Now, I did have like a personal thing related to him, which I told him, and that's the Martin Garrix Funko Pop. This one, so I told him that I was the one who made it for him and he knew it was me, and so then he hugged me in that. But if you have a tattoo related to the artist, if you have something in common, if there's something that you can say that would make the artist interact with you a little bit longer, definitely say that. So if all of that fails, you've tried everything I've said in this video, nothing worked, you've had no luck, there is still one more chance that you can have to try and meet your favorite artist. And my advice would be to run outside and try to catch them at the tour bus. Now, some artists stay at the venue for like an hour or two cleaning up and putting everything away before they go out to the tour bus. Or sometimes their crew members do that and the artists just head straight to the tour bus. So try to get out of the venue as fast as possible and go by the gates where the tour buses are. Maybe you'll catch the artist leaving and you can say hi to them on their way to the tour bus. Some security might try to help you meet them. It just depends on the staff. Although I have only been to like 3 concerts, I think I have pretty good stories to tell and pretty good experiences. I hope with my tips and my experiences, I can help you guys meet your favorite artists. Let me know what concerts you have planned for this year. Let me know if you're going to try any of these tips, and also let me know if you've ever met one of your favorite artists. If you have any other questions or other tips that you thought of, leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!